Hello, it is I, Tengu, and you're listening to Beyond the Veil, or watching it. I'm
Mhm.
Tengu, obviously,
Yes,
and beside me is,
tribe.
for real, for real. So, we haven't done one of these in over a month, I think. Maybe longer.
Well, it's been over a month.
It's been over a month, yeah. The last one was the AI one, which was a lot of fun.
that was
We,
so much fun.
we
That was,
talked,
I don't even know because we usually wing it.
yeah,
I mean, if you think about whatever, we had a guest on there. Like that's something we never had before. So it was like we didn't know what direction it was going to take, but the information was. I mean,
pretty
you
sweet.
can't go against information that fucking is getting straight from Google. So I think some of
Mm.
the projects that it named were like really cool, especially at the end.
Yeah, it named a lot of shit that was legit, so that was kind of cool. So today's one is just going to be a random talk about whatever and anything, I guess. That's a banana. Oh, it's a moon.
The moon.
Oh shit, okay. It's not a banana, it's a moon. So, we were yeah. I did see Sinners, so we were going to talk a little bit about the vampire in it. Rimmel? What's his
Remick.
name? Remick. Okay. So, as
Hey
you can,
guys, just so you know, I'm not gonna watch it.
that's all good. It's all good.
Probably if I'm not gonna watch it soon, but maybe
When it
like
shows up on Netflix or something, maybe.
yeah, definitely. But I want to like savor it because I like the dynamics of somebody that hasn't seen it and somebody who has. So you want to
Yeah.
see it by yourself, and
I got notches all over my face. It was amazing. And it was a great movie. The vampire in it is Irish. I'm Irish, if people don't know. Ireland, not British. Very different country. So, a lot of people are wondering where he came from. So, he is lightly based off a mythological Irish vampire who was a chieftain. So when I say chieftain, so in Ireland before the times of Christianity and stuff like that, Ireland had clans and tribes and chiefs, the same as most places in the world would have. And the guy that he's based off, I can't remember the guy's name. What is his fucking name actually? But it's an Irish name. You can look it up anyway. It's
Mhm.
not that name anyway. But he was a chief, a king of his own tribe who was they killed him. He came back. They killed him again. He came back. They killed him again. He came back. They killed him five or six times. And he came back. And every time he came back, he of the people that were in his clan, his tribe, he demanded their blood for him to survive. So he was lightly based off that vampire dynamic. So a chieftain was he had his own land. He wasn't a good guy, but I mean, he fought for his land within lands, and they would always fight over land within land. It's kind of been like that for eternity. Everyone's fighting over shit.
Yeah.
So that's what he was based off, which is pretty cool.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, of course, me and take you, if you go back, we're always talking about either Ireland or like what's going on in the US, and I thought it was amazing because like I saw the previews for Sinners like a year ago, and I just didn't know what it was getting into because the preview was kind of confusing. I thought it was going to get into like spiritual, like crazy, maybe voodoo type stuff that I knew.
Yeah,
Couldn't find out that wasn't in there, but it kind of looked like it wasn't going to get into that. But then come to find out, it was like a mix between people were saying like it was like watching two different movies that like in the first half it's like it has a certain feel and then
yeah.
the paranormal vampire and I was like, oh, that sounds really great. But um I love how they integrated, of course, black culture in
Hmm.
Ireland. And if anybody did see the video, it is the scene where like I don't know, both I know it's Smoker Stack, one of them got bit, but
Yeah, I can't remember which one.
um shit, what was I gonna say?
He got bit anyway, and then they
Oh yeah, well, he pretty much asked him, "Yo, you clan?" Like pointing to, and literally Remick looks like he gets like offended, and this shit's so funny. He's like, "Sir, I don't know." He's like, "We practice something, but pretty much that is a thing because that's really interesting. It makes him like even darker kind of character because he did not, as much as people think it was about like maybe black and white, it wasn't about that or at
No, it
all.
wasn't about anything like that.
He'll tell you about like Ireland's history, but pretty much like what happened to black people is what happened to Ireland. Like they were made slaves and their land was taken. So I thought it was interesting, and other people were putting this together that saw it. It's awesome to see people clash online. Like a bunch of people, like black people and people from Ireland are like, you know, having little communities. I think it's so beautiful because we talk about this, but um, so it makes him like a very interesting character because I guess in the movie he was a hive mind and he pretty much
Yeah, yeah, it was kind of cool.
yeah. What interests me though, because of course I didn't see it, but I'm wondering what did he want with Sammy so bad, but
The
but
music.
okay, so it was based off of Sammy's talents, but okay, it's very
Yeah, he
Robert
was
Johnson story. So we
some
talked.
spiritual thing. I don't know. I heard of myths like that before, where music control like there's powerful musicians that can control the spirit world.
Yeah, and
Now, I do want to say one thing that people out there on the TikToky thingy think he's linked to Robert Jordan. In fact, he's not, because Robert Jordan actually sold his soul to a devil in order
Robert
to play
Johnson.
the Robert Johnson, not Robert Jordan. Who the fuck? Robert Johnson
Yeah,
sold his soul. So the story is Robert Johnson. We've mentioned him before. He was he wasn't a very good guitarist, right? And
yeah,
he met a demon at the crossroads, a crossroads demon. Now when we talk about crossroads demons, there is one famous crossroads demon who is in voodoo religion, and that's Papa Legba. So Papa Legba is, well, he's not a demon, he's a crossroads spirit, and you would go to him if you wanted to speak to other spirits. I know it's not to do with Robert Johnson, but it's kind of a crossroads spirit. But he sold his soul. He what they say is he sold his soul to the devil in order to play the guitar so good. And Robert Johnson was the first guy who ever joined the 27 Club. You know the way people died at 27s, and this was like really before all that shit. But
yeah.
the
So
dude in this movie is not really based off him, but it's similar a similar idea. But he didn't sell it, so he just had that talent in him.
yeah, but I believe like the story is very supposed to relate to like music and its power and like the
Hmm.
Robert Johnson thing, like the industry and what you have to do. And vampires,
Yeah,
we're talking energetic vampires, if they're feeding off you energetically or physically like that, it's all symbolic. So people have to understand. A lot of it was symbolic. And like I said, I haven't watched it, but I thought
yeah,
it like people Christians were saying like, oh,
yeah.
never seen it, but like its name was Sinners. But I feel like if anybody hasn't seen a good movie in a minute, go out and see it. Like, cause I just saw clips of it and I was like, yeah, this shit's
Hmm.
gonna, and it's already popping other places. And if you hate on it, I don't know, it's just you just want to hate on it because I just
Yeah.
know it is. It's gonna be a good one. So
It is a good one, and from seeing it, it's a good one. And I like the whole spirit aspect of it, and it did kind of bring a sort of voodoo in it, but didn't necessarily call it voodoo. It had similar
oh,
things, but it wasn't necessarily called voodoo. Hmm?
yeah, people were saying like how one of the one of the boys, one of the twins who was with Annie, like she practiced some herbal stuff, and I guess he had a necklace and it protected him from a bite, stuff like that. So it's a beautiful mix of culture, especially the musical culture. And like I don't know what exactly happened in the movie because I didn't watch it, but
Hmm.
there is a scene where the vampires gather outside and they have an Irish like
They
legit
sing a
straight up.
great Irish song, and I'm Irish. I've said it already. When I was in the cinema watching this movie, we were all Irish people in the cinema, and as soon as that song came on, every single person in the crowd started tapping their feet to the song, and that just made me so
Yeah,
fucking
the powerful.
proud that they really kind of got into the whole kind of thing. So
That's
that was a
scene
really cool
I've
scene.
watched so many times. Such an amazing scene. Like I watched it. like a bunch of times and like would watch different people in the background. And it had to be so fun to make it.
Oh
But
yeah.
of the way, because this is how cultures like combine, and we talk about tribes and stuff. Dancing in a circle is one thing that tribes have always done. Music and um maybe like I'm not sure. You guys would do violins and bagpipes
Mhm.
or sort of instruments like that, probably more because native. And
More violins and tin whistles. Bagpipes would be a Scottish thing.
oh,
But the Scottish are very similar to us in they're very similar to us. So I've never been to Scotland. I would love to go to Scotland, but they are very similar to us. But
okay.
bagpipes and kilts would have been a Scottish thing, but also an Irish thing and a Celtic thing.
Oh, okay.
Because the Scottish, the Irish, and the Welsh were all Celts, which is Celtic people. And the Welsh had their own language. The Scottish had their own version of Irish language. So it's pretty cool that we were kind of have that kind of connection.
Hmm.
And the power of music brought that everyone together in that movie, which was pretty damn cool.
Yeah, and then people were like, it's funny because I saw like some people, I'll just say like black people, people of my color commenting on people from Ireland. Like you've been holding out on us on music and stuff. So like the fact that we put together, and I'm not, well, I'm also looking at this as a Native American aspect too, because I'm also Native American and
Hmm.
black. So like it's just like crazy to think like we made music, such soulful, beautiful music in times of such heartache, and
Yeah.
you can still feel it, like with the Foggy Dew song that you shared with me that we
Oh,
listened.
the foggy dew is not dew. It's dew as in the mist from fog is called dew, Dew.
Hmm.
But that song is a very very powerful song, and that's about what happened in Ireland was a thing called the Easter Rising. I'm not really going to get onto it, talk about it on here because it upsets people a lot. But it was a time when Ireland was in control by the British, and that's why Ireland didn't like the British then. And there's a whole history on it, and it's the 1916 Easter Rising, which is what happened there, and it was a horrible, horrible time for my country and my people and my ancestors, you could say. But
Hmm.
I'm not really gonna get too much into that because unfortunately, there's a particular UFC fighter who is very pro that. I won't mention his name. People know who he is. Anyway,
Oh yeah, but pretty much
um,
what we're getting at is they like if you look at a lot of areas in history, we have been all suppressed in different ways, but
mhm,
there are a few that stick out, a few cultures that stick out, and that's Native American, of course. Um, African American to me is definitely now that I understand that they enslaved and the whole fucking running the snakes out of Ireland, all of that shit. Now that I understand, they also suppressed Ireland, and I'm really trying to understand what's there that they were suppressing, other than well, they, I think they infiltrated for the for the yeah the stuff on your pagan culture that they
new
demonized.
range.
They got all the information and then they demonized you guys and said that hey, you can't
Yeah,
this and hung you, burned you, whatever they did, hung you. Did I see that? Did I say that
it
first?
is. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking the
Yeah.
witch trials.
I mean, I'm not just the witch trials. This shit just happened
It
for a
was
long,
already. Oh yeah, this shit did happen. It
but the
happened all the
trials,
time.
but like they would do that. Even fucking in Nazi Germany. Did you know that one of the first places Hitler invaded was like one of like a German towns?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Like with
yeah.
people, and he killed German like
He
it.
killed his own.
Yeah, killed his own people. So it's crazy. That's insane.
It is crazy, and all this crazy shit that's happening now in the world, and I think we're in a time where shit is just crazy chaotic,
It is.
and some of us are enlightened and we know what's going on out there.
I just
So
yeah, I can't do much attention to the outside anymore.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that
soul
happened
searching. Hmm.
exactly going inward instead of thinking so much outward. Because like I want to change the world, gotta change yourself first. So
Yeah, that's for real. That's true. You gotta do that. My lights keeps going out on my face, but anyway, my battery is wasting on it.
it's okay.
So. Also, I was looking at this thing recently. I think I sent you links of the Skywatchers, which I think is pretty cool, and it brings us into aliens.
Oh,
Where yeah, I just want to look at something there because I really found all those crafts really interesting.
oh
I
yeah,
yeah
actual website with like real people and shit.
yeah real people boots on the ground as you say. But I mean,
Yeah, boots on the ground.
I want to see they had there was a whole kind of list of craft, and I want to talk about them craft. Let me just see if I can find it. Okay, where's the craft? I want to see the craft. So, or craft and possibly um beings.
Mhm.
So, I'm looking at here, right? So, there's this thing. I haven't watched a lot of it. So, they're called Skywatchers, and it's an independent people that are going out and kind of calling extraterrestrial or interdimensional beings forward. The same kind of thing as Stephen Greer did. The same principle, but not charging people a couple of million or a couple of $1,000 for each fucking time to
Yeah.
go and sit with him. But these are doing a
We
similar
here. We
thing.
see you. We see
Hmm?
you. No, no, I'm just saying we see you, bro.
We see it, bro. Yeah. But the thing I found really fascinating was about Skywatchers was it talks about the craft, and I mean, there's a Tetra craft, which is a class one craft, and I'm just looking here. So the Tetradon shape is it's humble. It's a weird. A Tetradon is like a diamond. Would you say it's a diamond shape? I guess a Tetradon does look like a diamond. I guess.
Is it tetrahedron or tetra?
Tetrahede. Sorry, it's the craft is called they nicknamed it a tetra, which it's a tetrahedron. Yeah, so that is a diamond shape, isn't it?
Mhm.
That technically would be a diamond shape. And they say the images of it kind of it kind of rotates. It's the gravity these craft it work they work different than what we'd see a normal airplane go by. But that's
Yeah,
because they're probably
it,
on a different frequency.
it's so easy to understand. You just put your own physics over an aircraft.
Hmm.
So it's like a whole it's like a different world inside of this aircraft. So it has its own gravity field. So when you see it make a turn like
Hmm.
90-degree angle or whatever, people were like, "Oh my God, that would like kill you. That would, you know,
Yeah.
your insides." Well, no, because they're not even feeling it in there because they're under a whole their own law of physics inside, pretty much.
They
That's how.
yeah, and apparently they emit some sort of vapor. A vapor from them, and they say they're usually black. They're usually black in color, like almost like the on an onyx stone, I guess you could say. Onyx is black, isn't it? Yeah, so they kind of have the same coloristics as onyx, but their physics it works differently than our physics would, which I
Mhm.
think is really interesting. That was one of the first crafts. I'm just going to talk about these crafts because I think they're really interesting.
And also, I want to mention a lot of these craft. Like I knew Hitler was he like reverse. I don't even know. Not yeah, he reverse engineered craft. I don't know how far along he was, but the German like space program turned into the American one. Pretty much, we got
Oh
everything from
yeah,
paperclip. So he made propulsion vehicles in the flat trap with the Glocka was one of them. If you know,
the bell.
they
Yeah,
had
that's the
but
bell, the Nazi bell it was
I
called.
don't even know really. They were working with like red mercury, and I think it's the same element that dude. This is what's crazy because everybody. This is how insane the media works. Bob Lazar. I'll just say this one thing about him. I don't know him like that much, but every video I've watched, especially whenever he was young, just coming out, this dude had no reason to lie about the shit he was talking about. Like if you watch his videos, he and now it's being debunked. Now everyone's like, "Bob Lazar was telling the truth." And after I watched this stuff, I was like, "Bro, it never seemed like he was like he had an intention to like lie."
Yeah, I heard that. He didn't have an
His,
intention. He didn't make
all
any money from it either,
yeah, all of it
or
out.
very little.
All of his information was fucking legit, and he was talking about an element. I don't know what he called it, element 13 or something.
I know I think I remember looking at I can't remember what it's called. It is I know the element you're talking about, and I'm sure people out there if they search enough they know what it is as well. But I can't remember what it's actually called. But yeah, it's element something.
Like I'm not like I from watching him, I like him, but like I will say there are people and I just shared something. Even I always ride for Ancient Aliens too, and of course that's on the internet. Even people like Giorgio, the aliens dude. We have to watch out for like people because they're not giving us the whole truth. They're like
Uh-huh.
dancing around it, and it's way too long.
Oh yeah, they're not giving all the information.
They're not. So it's
It's like that guy Lou Elizondo. If I mention him, he'd probably block me on next. But anyway, Lou Elizondo, he gives some information, but he's withholding a lot of information. And he was the dude that joined with Tom DeLonge, which ended up Tom DeLonge did fuck all. Like let's talk about, for example, remember To the Stars Academy. Tom DeLonge was saying he was going to build a craft and all this shit, and it never happened.
I don't know. I like remember the names, but I can't put
Oh,
it.
with To the Stars Academy, Tom DeLonge was the guy who set that up, and they had all these top guys in, and they said they have all the technology to make craft, and they didn't do it, and they said they were going to release a thing. Then
Oh,
his To the
Greer's
Star, hmm?
just like Greer's doing. Everyone's saying how he said he like, where's the free
Where's
tech?
the fucking information?
Where's going on, bro? You
And then what's happened with
because the truth is just like anybody getting the truth out is not fucking asking for
giving
money
all the truth? Yeah, that's true. If they're
or
not asking for
or
money,
but
100%.
like you said, 100%. This is what they're doing, and now I'll sit here and admit it, Billy Carson too. Half truths. They
Half
know.
truths and then half bullshit, and
Yeah,
making money from it. And that's the thing that pisses me off. If
money, dude. Everything.
if you wanted to release the information, it's like you say, if you want to really release it, then don't charge people. Freedom of information, but no,
Yeah,
oh how much money we can make from it. And it's a shame. Because
yeah.
all these dudes were onto something, but then
Mhm.
then unfortunately greed and more greed because
You see them stop. It's like I mean I don't like to talk shit, but I'm just giving examples, and anybody
uh
can see this. Like Billy Carson, I was going. I love like he was like a father figure to me. Even a year,
yeah,
you know how much I was watching, but it doesn't give me a long time to understand. Like he's just talking about the same stuff he did like a year ago, and like he's just like I'm like okay, we can let's get some new information. But anytime he somebody tries to come with him for new information, you know, it's just down or he just doesn't address it. And
yeah,
a lot of them are Greer, Bashar,
mm-hmm.
any, and then especially anyone who like tried to say that the vax like push the vaccine too. You can tell like any celebrity that was like, yeah, you need to go get the vaccine. Y'all were probably even if it was a little bit of money, people are willing to accept. They got paid. They probably got paid to do that.
Oh yeah, everything's paid definitely. But
That's
it's the charging for the information is the worst thing, and that's why we're never really going to see all the information given to us because it's going to be withheld. Certain information has been released, but I'm sure it's kind of a soft disclosure, so it's not giving you the full information
yeah.
of
Just
the
think of
thing.
Dean's list, for example. Like somebody, I have some political people that like to send me political stuff, and I'm not into it. And this is the
Oh,
exact.
I don't deal with that shit either. Yeah.
Even 3 years ago, he sent me the same thing. This is just on Epstein. This isn't
Mhm.
political about fucking children and like human trafficking. So, but he sent me something about Epstein's list getting like, oh, somebody's gonna release it, and I'm just like, he
No,
sent
they're
me
not.
2 years ago about it, and then just recently he was like, oh, follow my one political dude for Epstein's list, and I'm like,
Hasn't been released.
not that I don't have hope. It's like when it's released, I know they took off names. It don't mean too much to me. Like
Redacted.
period. Like it should have been the fact that everybody on the world sat here and we understood. And I know that Epstein was like definitely running a blackmail CIA operation, like to blackmail, take them out to the island, blackmail them with either children. Like of course they would do terrible things, but then you get a little footage of somebody. Exactly what Diddy did. It's embedded in the industry. That's how people get people in, and then everybody's scared, and you can really like get away. Like they got away with way too much. So that's gonna come crumbling down. It is, and it does not matter at this point if their names aren't on it because their or energetic signature is there, and no matter what, because I believe everything is record. Like whatever you can say, God, everything is seen. So when you think you're doing something terrible or disgusting, like some of these people and even people on the dark web, people who
Hmm.
the whole Pizzagate shit, they're not getting away with it. I think that's one reason why they want to stay alive for so long. You're afraid to die, aren't you? Because have
Because you're not going to a nice place.
you don't know exactly you have no control after when you die. So they just want to
Yeah,
over.
karma.
That's what I'm thinking because I'm like dying is beautiful to me. Like I don't want to live forever and like you know how like just Remingford, I forget how old he was.
Oh yeah.
Some vampires are hundreds of years old. I'm good on that, bro. Let me die and like I'll come back something like so I know I did that, but I feel like one reason these people are building bunkers and the shit is because they really do want to outlast this. And I feel like I understand like consciousness transfer technology and med beds. Anyone can look up med beds right now, and it's like this crazy healing tech that was inside secret space programs and programs like that. But they're slowly going to release this medical stuff to make money off of it.
Of course, it's all about making the monies. It really is. I mean, what was I talking about? Oh, sorry, before we were talking about, I was talking about this craft. I literally lost track of what I was talking about there.
Oh yeah, shit, the crap. Skywatchers.
Yes, I was like, what was I talking about? But yeah, so I do want to talk a bit about these crafts. So the most famous one we probably all know is the Tic Tac one.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, but I'll say just because I have information on TikTok, and I did not think this at first. I was like, those are definitely probably extraterrestrial, but I heard the government owns Tic Tacs. Like they either got their hand on one, or they reverse engineered. So if you see a Tic Tac, probably most likely government, and it's very, of course, very advanced,
yeah, they hover. I'm just looking at they're 9 to 12 meters, so they're pretty big.
huge.
And
And they literally have
it's given all the information what the capacity,
no seams whatsoever, bro.
and they're
Like,
really quick. Obviously, they're quicker than yeah.
bro, you ever see the rods?
Oh, rods! I've heard of those. They're like little bugs or something. We're not sure.
Well, I'm not just talking like yeah, the rod bugs that are like twisty, but also like the cylindrical type crafts. They're fucking just like cylindrical crafts. Those are actually quite familiar or not familiar, but like frequent too. If you see,
Hmm.
it's just
This
the cylindrical craft. It's
it,
crazy.
it also talks about these blobs. There's blob craft, orb shaped craft, which I'm just they're also relative. They're round, orb shaped, usually
Hmm.
red cloud like orbs with a pulsing light. I'm just reading the information on them. I'm just find this I can find this fascinating.
No, yeah, it's awesome. I
They're
love it.
3 to 5 meters, so they're pretty big as well. Blobs, they're little reddish orange blob things that can kind of they'd be a class three. So the class one, I guess, is the Tetra. The class two is the Tic Tac. And the blobs are class three. Red cloud like so it's kind of like the blob for example. Is it a craft or could it be a creature?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know how they're identifying those if they're like multi-dimensional craft because some
Yeah,
craft
they're
like
seen in certain light. These ones.
so if they're trying to say these are because craft can just be
Mhm.
that we build and it's physical and it could have like adaptations to have like other tech to make
So
it.
they're okay. So it's just telling me here. So those ones, those blob craft, you can only detect them in infrared.
That's interesting.
So like now that makes you think like they're big, so they could technically be a craft or they could be a creature. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah. Either way,
Hmm.
what it is, they are kind of right here on the website. You like
Hmm.
anybody go to skywatchers.com, you can look at these
It's
craft.
really good. It's really good. And you were also talk. You said there's these ones that are like the rods. It's the beam craft, which would be like a rod. The beam. It's a
That's a
beam.
rod.
Yeah. So that's that one there.
Let
It's
me,
infrared as well.
well, you won't mention the manuscript, but
Mhm.
because shit came up in my field, we know that there are such advanced craft in the air that are able to submerge into um USOs and
Mhm.
perform just like better than a submarine, pretty much.
Yeah, USOs are really interesting, and like they're the ones we don't know much about. USOs, if people don't know, it's unidentified submergible object, if I'm not mistaken, which means a craft that goes underwater and can withstand the intense pressure of deep in the sea that we haven't got to.
Yeah.
And they're that those race, I would love to know more about, like as I was saying to you before, like that particular if that race of being. that lives there. They don't really interact with humans, and I can kind of understand why.
Yeah, I've just from Cosmic Disclosure and regardless of anything, a lot of the shit they did say on there, I 100% believe in my bones. So they talked about aquatic aliens and aliens. I you wouldn't call them aliens because
Because they're
they're
living here.
some of them, yeah, some of them like predate us, and they've been
Uh-huh.
here they've been here so long. Yeah, they have their own civilizations. Like some could be domes, some of them are literally like um if you know The Shape of Water,
Yeah, it's a good movie, and that's a good example.
like they and then they go into a fin just so that there's all different types and everything. Some are so advanced they use something called, and this has to be the most advanced technology, water technology,
Hmm.
move dimensions through water, and I just can't fathom that. I don't even know what water technology is, but like if it's they're so advanced. But I was trying to think of uh fuck.
They,
It was on the Zelda. I was gonna say the Zoras, but they're
yeah, I know. Yeah, which is cool. They're in the game, but
mhm.
yeah, those water beings, and I'm not. I wouldn't technically wouldn't call them alien because, like you say,
Yeah.
they were here before us. It's probably their planet before us. They were probably around way before, you
Not
know.
to mention too, some aliens use or extraterrestrials if they're coming out, even if they want to come our dimension, I don't know.
Hmm.
Use our water. We have, it's called fucking Earth, planet dirt, but there's so much water, so
Yeah, we have loads of
it's
water. Yeah.
a lot of people or yeah, civilizations to either collect water. I don't know if they can turn water into like hydrogen or something.
Well, it's funny because I think there's a company, a tractor company. Is it a tractor company? I think one of the companies that make tractors have now got a hydrogen engine. They're working on a hydrogen engine.
I told you hydrogen was going to be the next electric
Yeah,
was never the way to go. Yeah.
yeah.
Hydrogen.
Now I'm not entirely sure how a hydrogen engine is going to work, but I mean, it would be a hell of a. Where are they going to get the water? But anyway, I think they're kind of cool, and the technology I don't quite understand.
Mm.
I don't,
I
but I think it's cool
think
that
than
it's
that we should not be using gas anymore. That's all for money. It's
mhm,
all,
and it's ruining minerals, the minerals of Earth and stuff like that are being destroyed for it as well. So gosh, yeah, and I'm going back to it's cool that this topic is I'm talking about these craft and then we're getting other topics in with the craft like those beings of the sea. But then the beam craft, which is also technically would be the ones that look like rods,
hmm.
they can be seen in infrared and they tend to hover for hours in one place and they're
Yeah.
usually seen in pairs. They don't know how big they are because it's a beam, a really interesting one.
Hmm.
Hovering above, remaining motionless for over an hour, movement when observed. Oh, so they move when something is watching them because they don't want to be seen. So they're really cool. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So probably if anybody would go outside right now, it doesn't matter what time. There's more than likely aircraft hovering in the air somewhere above
Hmm.
you, and it's just camouflaged or out of your the range of your eye that you cannot detect it.
Yeah.
I remember one Snapchat, and there's something about like um the red glasses that they gave some military people that made them go crazy because they were seeing shit off of it. But when people early in Snapchat days, when you take pictures of the sky and you would like move the filter over, I remember people were saying that UFOs were showing up when they would scroll the filter. So I know that our cameras can even pick up these things and like they're camouflaged to a certain extent, and
Hmm.
some people were uncovering them from just swiping over on a filter of they took of the sky, and then the craft would appear. So it's definitely some type of camouflage technology, or in another light. It's a like something with light technology too. So
Hmm.
see it because we only like see what 1% of the light spectrum. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's true actually. And there's probably colors you were saying and other probably that we can't comprehend because we've never actually physically seen the color.
yeah, and that makes sense if they did infrared, why some could be seen in infrared or
We
thermal technology. And like I said,
we use FLIR and thermal infrared and stuff like that in paranormal investigations,
mhm, yeah, so it's
which
yeah.
can kind of pick up there's a temperature thing as well, picks up temperature because
We
it's
also
dead.
Don't you test for radioactivity?
Yeah, it's like I've a little hand thing which is a an EMF reader, and it flashes green lights and red lights, green lights, red lights, and if the closer you come to like electromagnetic fields, kind of it goes crazy green. So if I had brought it out here and I moved it near this computer, it would go crazy because there's magnetic field on the computer, obviously. But that one is used to kind of detect extra like entities of like ghostly entities and stuff like that.
Which could be also when we're talking, we go on the alien side, it could
Uh-huh.
be dimensional or like a layer
Interdimensional, yeah.
that you're interacting with that's just on top of like running on top of yours.
Yeah, definitely,
But
definitely.
it's awesome how like it's you look at the paranormal or you look at the extraterrestrial field and we're using the same type of uh
We're
gadgets.
using similar technology.
Yeah,
We will be using similar technology. And just on the beam craft, I didn't mention like the blob was a class 3, the beam one is a class 4. I like that it gives them different classes. The one I find most interesting, and it's all on that website, was the manta ray craft, which is really cool. It's a manta ray shape, so you know the fish, the manta
yeah,
ray.
which
I
makes sense because there's a craft like I told Tengu that from the side, it's not a TR3B.
mhm.
It's the one that's like well known, but it looks like a bird from the side and a specific bird too.
Yeah, this one is rare though. The manta ray craft. Now, what it says here, it's manta ray shaped. It tumbles on multiple axes, so it's like, oh my God, how would that? So it's a manta ray, so that's like a triangle. Well, you know what that fish looks like, but this one when it moves, it tumbles on multiple axes. So it kind of access. It's just kind of really cool. They're rarely seen, and they're usually, here's a weird one, they're usually observed watching Tic Tac craft. Isn't that fascinating? So this manta ray craft is always, it seems to be, when they're seen, tends to be observing the Tic Tac craft, which you were saying that possibly some of the military have as well. So why is the
Yeah.
manta ray craft kind of observing it? Is that finding it that it's a threat? I don't know. That's fascinating.
Oh, it could be we could be dealing with a few different things. Just an extraterrestrial observing an extraterrestrial, or I would assume like an extraterrestrial race would be watching what we do with
Yeah.
engineered technology. So if it was a tic tac, and I'm not saying we don't have manta ray craft, I'm not sure, but
Yeah, I don't
it's
think we have it.
interesting they mentioned that they're
It's usually they're
observed.
rarely seen.
Yeah, so
And they're
that could
small craft. They're like they're 2 to 3 meters. They're relatively small, but they're usually observing. So let me think about this, right? So the manta ray craft, I find this one I think is the most fascinating. That's probably a little alien drone,
I was just gonna say that. I was thinking of
which
all
yeah, it's probably a little alien drone that's like observing. Okay, what the fuck are the humans doing? They have one of our craft or someone they know's craft. So what are they doing with that craft? So these little things could be little kind of
surveillance.
let's go to Ultron. Ultron is going to be in Marvel Rivals and he's going to have little drones that will heal you. And I'm looking at this little thing and I'm like, I know I'm comparing the two. That to me, that little crap, the fact it's 1, 2 to 3 meters, it's big enough, 2 to 3 meters, like that's taller than me.
Mm.
But, 3 meters, yeah, it's taller than me anyway. I'm pretty sure now this is what I think, and I don't know if you're on the same boat. You probably are. I think that's a drone, an alien drone.
Yeah, very. That's what I was. Well, very possible that these so many of these craft are not like they're piloted by
Hmm.
consciousness. Them like there's no man in them. They could be AI or they are drones. Because that's you have to think what do we do? How did we start exploring space? How would any other civilization explore
Hmm.
space or like snoop on? They would send in drones. They would send in androids like gray aliens to harvest
Yeah,
things needed. They would use
it's an
tech,
observer.
especially if they can adapt to our atmosphere. Like we would want to do, like we would
Here-
do the same. Probably send either.
Here's a mad thing about that. Apparently, this thing emits fierce heat, so it's very hot. So obviously, you couldn't touch it. I'm pretty. That's to me, that's. I think we've cracked it. This is exclusive Beyond the Veil podcast. We have cracked what the manta ray craft is. It is an alien drone. That's exclusive to us, no other podcast. You heard it
Um,
here. You heard it here first. First.
yeah, some
That's
of them.
cool. And now here's one I really think is interesting. There's one called a Bright Star. It's a reflective craft. Oh my God! It's a reflective. Yeah, reflective. It's a tetradon.
Tetrahedron.
Tetrahedron. Thank you. It's a tetrahedron shaped craft, but it's reflective and it looks like a diamond, and it's nicknamed the Bright Star. It's reflective. Oh, shaped craft. It flashes teal. It flashes teal, green, blue, red, and white light spectrum. That's pretty cool. Appears to shimmer across the surface. It shimmers. It's like this is like a craft that can disguise. This is like cloaking technology.
Oh yeah, like using light, bending light.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading here. This one is about 1.5 meters to 3 meters, so it's small as well. Probably another observing craft.
Hmm.
But the fact that it's does that like the Predator, that kind of reflective Predator shit, that's pretty cool. And
Yeah, or be dealing with holographic technology as well.
yeah, it's really cool. It's really pretty. It's really if you look that website up, just check it out. It's beautiful. The description of it. It looks like a diamond,
Hmm.
and it's probably the prettiest one of the lot.
Craft art,
And
probably.
that's a class three, four, five.
Triangle. Like there's black pyramids that are seen
Hmm.
like a lot. Crazy black pyramids.
Yeah, shit.
Like just in the air. Mhm.
That's cool. That's cool. Did I say what they were? So the Blob is a class 3. I'm just going back through these. The Bleam is a class 4. The Manta Ray is a class 5. So that Bright Star is a class 6 craft. I love that they're giving them classes. That's really fascinating. Oh, and I'm just going by what they're saying. So I'm talking about their stuff and making an observation. I think this is kind of cool. Would you agree? And then now there's another craft which is a jellyfish craft,
And
which
then in the air too.
mm,
Like or well,
or a sky jelly.
or jellyfish with tentacles.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly what it is. So it's a jellyfish shaped craft, um, with seeking head movement, head motion. So I reckon that's a living thing. Its tentacles are it's literally a sky jelly. White. It's a white. It's white jellyfish shaped craft. That's a class seven craft. I'm just looking at it and that's cool. I'm loving this. I'm just loving looking at these and just kind of talking about them. I'm just really, I find this fascinating. And this one has. That to me sounds like we've heard of the sky jellies. I think that jellyfish craft is not a craft at all. I think it's a creature that lives above our atmosphere, and it's only seen in certain lights.
Okay.
That's
I can't tell you guys what it is. That's what he thinks it is, but I'm not sure. I don't know.
oh, okay. To me, and now I'm making this is only my own personal opinion. It could be completely wrong. I just like to talk. To me, that's what it looks like because I've heard of those sky jellies.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah. I've seen pictures of them.
mhm.
Mhm.
And this thing is about 2 meters to 3 to 5 meters, so it can be pretty long. That's
Yeah,
cool. That's pretty cool. I really like that. I'm loving. I'm actually gonna look up more of their stuff because I find it really fascinating.
they could be multi-dimensional
Could
too.
be a multi-dimensional being. Yeah, that's true. It's possibly. And now there is another one. It's called a hornet. I don't know why it's called a hornet because it doesn't look like a hornet. So this is a class that's class. I'm just checking the classes. So we have the jellyfish is a class 7. Then we have
Mm.
the class 8 is the hornet. So the hornet is a dual body UAP they call it, which is a UFO because UAP is the new term they use. So I don't know why they changed the term. But this is a dual body thing. It's usually black in color. Oh, black, purple, red, or blue is the coloration of it. It looks like two jellyfish stuck together. That one I don't know what the hell that is, and it's about 2 to 5 meters. Um, oh wow, it rolls when it flies. It kind of does a rolling kind of motion. Dual body. That's really cool. I don't know. I don't know what the hell that is. That probably a craft or a creature.
Yeah.
That one I don't know, but it's cool. That is very cool.
And
Oh, I'm
also,
loving
like
it.
to think of some not oh, is it a craft or creature? Like
Yeah.
you can think of Transformers too, just like a Transformer.
Or
The conscious craft.
an organic craft.
Yeah, organic.
It's like it's well, it could be now. It's the most unusual, and then there's the egg-shaped craft, which is kind of a white one, which looks like an egg. Looks like an egg, basically. Off-white metallic egg-shaped craft. Visual data limited to a single low-quality recording. Rare, probably the rarest ones. Unknown size. The egg craft. That's an interesting one.
Hmm.
It's the most mysterious of the lot, and there's not much known about it.
The fucking egg.
So that's one of the classes they meant. That was just me going through all those classes. I think that's pretty cool. My favorite craft is totally gonna be the manta ray one because I think it looks cool.
Mm.
And the hornet just has me baffled because I don't know what the hell to think of that one. Because
Yeah,
I can't figure out what it is. But these are all on Skywatchers, and no, I don't know the people in Skywatchers. I kind of like their work. I only discovered their work recently. And I like the fact that they're actually doing that like getting shit out there that the
yeah,
fucking governments won't.
yeah, and they probably have like um real people who are coming forth from working because now whenever you're supposed to report
Hmm.
before you can even talk in the military, you if you saw something you shouldn't even don't say anything because people will look at you like you're crazy and shit. Now if you see something you're supposed to report it. I think that was in 2017 or
Hmm.
well, they released the thimble, if you know what I'm talking about, the famous now it's famous recording of the one UFO. It's like black and it looks
Hmm.
uh top.
It looked what?
It looks like a top.
Oh, like a spinning top, like one of those
Yeah,
kids' toys.
not
The
just like a black video and it looks like on the military it has like
Hmm.
a cross.
Yeah.
I don't know. You've had to have seen because it's been everywhere, but pretty much these two pilots are just watching it and it's literally on radar. And I guess this is what I heard. The video that they have out right now is not even the best version of the video they have. And this is something that they do, I guess.
Hmm.
They will even put out footage of craft, but blur it so that people are still not.
Sure.
Yeah, because if you would see a real fucking image, like a crispy, clear image of something, it would probably, okay, some people will, oh, AI, but if
Oh,
you
I
know
was gonna say someone would say, "Oh,
it
that's
will
just
blow your
AI."
fucking mind. So they do that. But even in the video that you watch, you said something about how like well, they get really hot. This thing, like you can see it has like an aura around it,
Hmm.
top and on the bottom. It looks like it has an energetic field, of course, like a torus that's going
Yeah.
around it. And then it's tilting. And these dudes are like laughing, like, what the fuck? Look at it go. And I think that's some of the best footage you can get are from the military because their responses are just so pure and usually not freaking out, but they're like, look at that thing. That's not ours. That's not ours.
Hmm.
Like these are old videos too, just surfacing. So there will be so many more.
Oh, there will be so many more.
I mean, we had the orb fucking since like remember when all the orbs were everywhere and the drones and I don't know what's going on now. I haven't heard much. It's just not being covered, but all,
Yeah.
all the crashes in the sky, bro.
There's so much, like the thing is, there's so much stuff that we miss. It's in the sky, and like there is things we cannot see with the human eye, like you said there, and there, like I, I am the skeptical one in this duo here. But when I say I'm skeptical,
Like, but it's a creature. I love it.
but I'm not like completely like gonna say everything's fake, not real, because the more I've learned about it, the more things that always believed in aliens. And there's people I work with that don't, and I can't convince them, and I'm not even gonna try. They have their mind is set, and I'm like, okay, I'll leave you with that. I'm not gonna even talk more about it.
Yeah.
But I done paranormal investigations. I've talked about this numerous times. And I went in, when I first done paranormal investigations, I went in skeptical, not believing anything. And after that experience, I, it's shit actually was like, fuck, there's something to this.
Yeah.
And now this time in this right now, the here, right now, where we are, we chose here now. All this shit is coming out. Now, it's not gonna be, the truth is, your fucking governments are not gonna release this information. They have half of it hidden. It's gonna be people on the ground like those guys and other people out there that are gonna release the information.
Yeah. Like I'm
And
the
because
cop or
everyone thought like when your president was elected in America, they said, oh, he was gonna release the information. He didn't. And the one before that, he didn't. None of them are going to. They're puppets. Like you say, I don't talk about politics. I don't give a
what
shit.
the shit that he did drop was
Useless.
the thing on MK Ultra or JFK. It released, yeah, MK Ultra was real. JFK. It was all the shit that I
That
already
you
knew,
knew already.
giving us what we already
It's,
knew.
this
And
is the thing. It's like
I was, guys, you're falling for this. Like,
we
so
knew this already. There's
I
nothing
oh,
different.
9/11 too. I'm like,
Hmm.
I knew this. Like, there should be. Y'all had papers on this. So when I saw Trump signing his first days in office, I was like, wow,
Hmm.
people are gonna be like, oh, he's doing something. Like,
But
no,
and I'm not. We're not political. We're not
no,
taking
all
sides. It's just
people should be up there. Like,
it doesn't matter. I could be fucking up there.
exactly. Or
Fucking
he,
my
one,
pet dog could be up there. It doesn't make a difference. They're not going to release
yeah,
the
whoever.
information we get it as people ourselves. It's not going to be given to you by your governments because they're hiding shit, and they're all corrupt little fuckers anyway. They all care about is money, and you have this shit's always been the way. And that's not going to change. It's just the people out there that listen to our podcasts and other podcasts is like we're the ones that have to get this information ourselves. Like me and Tribe here, we're just saying stuff that you probably already know. And if you
Mhm.
don't believe us, then that's your. I'm not gonna say I everything I'm saying is true, and I'm Jesus, I'm the Messiah. I'm telling you everything I'm telling you is true. I don't know if it's true. It's up to you, to yourself out there, you peeps, to
Yeah,
discover
exactly.
yourselves.
Like,
Like, don't go by what I say and whatever. Like, I'm saying that some of these crafts I think are creatures.
and
They might not be. They could be fucking craft.
some of them are creatures. Most
Hmm.
we've talked about on many occasions multidimensional craft or
Hmm.
creature craft, and then it's kind of split into the paranormal. Some creatures that you portal and shit
Hmm.
you done in your dream. Like I
Yeah.
think that's just very possible. So yeah, one thing about us is and then understanding more about myself, I'm never pushing my belief on anybody. It is always going to be up to that person. Like I can just sit here and talk about what I believe and I do not give a fuck. I'm sorry, like to all things, I don't give a fuck what anybody else believes.
Hmm.
It's like up to you to do the research. Like if
Yeah.
the information, you'll go out there and find it because
If you really want the information, you'll
yeah,
go out and
that
find it. Like.
that was a kid and you've known shit since you were a kid.
Hmm.
So it's just there's people who are two times, three times as old as me, fought in war that are, like that are ready for this information to come out, like they've seen stuff or they've done horrible things, for
Hmm.
our or stupid war conditions or people are ready. Like everything has to come out now and it will. Um, I think we are disclosure. And as far as like the media and the entertainment industry, they're trying to fuck around and throw each other under the bus with P. Diddy and all that. We all know that they're a bunch of fucking pedophiles, satanic weirdos. That all needs to crumble. There's really nobody that you should look up to, but
Yes, exactly.
yeah,
You shouldn't look up to certain people like that.
yeah, idols and have
They
celebrities.
don't give a shit about you anyway. The truth is, oh, I love such and such. He's so great and brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like there's a player loves you when they're playing. Where they're
mm-hmm.
not playing, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
it's the age of
idolize yourself, fucking, or your spiritual, whatever you believe, whatever gods, work with that. But like, don't fucking, I always say this, don't fucking waste your life trying to I become like someone else. Because you are put here to do what you're doing.
yeah.
And whatever happened in life, there's been roadblocks to stop you. I wanted. For example, I'll give a little history lesson on me. When I was younger, I wanted to be a professional wrestler. And I wrestled, and when I was 19, which is a long, long time ago, but anyway, when I was 19, I done a thing called a ladder match, right? And a ladder match is when you climb on a ladder, you jump on the other guy, and we had planned this whole kind of thing to work out perfectly. It didn't because I jumped. There was a mat on the ground. The mat was moved slightly, and it wasn't anyone's fault. This was an accident.
Uh,
And I hit the concrete, and I broke my tailbone. And that was the end of me becoming a wrestler because that I was told by doctors and stuff like that if I was to do anything like that again, if I damaged my spine, my tailbone again, I would be paralyzed. And that was kind of the end of me. My little dream was shattered.
Damn, I'm sorry to hear that. It's crazy how some people can do it and just like never get hurt.
It's funny because I wrestled with, I'm talking about wrestling now. It's funny because you said stuff was up in your timeline.
I've never tried to do it. Like I break my neck. Like I wanted to skateboard and or maybe gymnastics, but I'm like, bro, I would be the one just do something wrong. But
Oh, it's crazy because when I think about it, when I was younger, I did wrestle with a very famous wrestler who's in America now in WWE. His name is Sheamus. That's not his real name. If you want to find his real name, you can go on the internet. I wrestled with him. I knew the dude. He's a nice guy. He
mhm.
succeeded. I didn't because of my tailbone thing. And I'm like, at the start, when I seen him get into it, I'm not gonna lie, I was pissed off and jealous and envious because I didn't make it. But at the same time, that was my path. I was meant to just
That wasn't your path too.
it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. And I mean, shit happens. So
And think about that anyway. Like, if you would have got in there, it did, like even as much as you love wrestling, I just saw a video of Theo, and he was like calling out, and it was a big wrestling event. I don't know if this was a year ago. I don't know anything about events, but
mhm.
he said, yeah, there's a lot of pedophiles. Just a bunch of people I wouldn't look twice in the eyes, like shit like that. Because yeah, they're those people are everywhere. So it's kind of I'm not like I would want you to, do all your physical things, but there is always a reason that you
Well,
are.
there's corruption and all that, and I'm not gonna. There's great Netflix documentaries on a former owner of a wrestling event. I'm not gonna mention his name because I don't like to
Okay,
do
you
that.
did talk to me about that. Yeah, if you, I mean, anybody, if you're watching this, come on,
I'm not gonna say names because I'm not gonna call anyone out. The information is out there. You
it's
guys know who I'm talking about.
wrestling, right? So if anybody knows wrestling in there, they
Yeah,
would.
they know, and it's horrible things
They don't,
happen. Hmm?
I just don't know wrestling like that. It's an industry though, so it's not hard. If you're into wrestling, you
You're
know
into
who
wrestling. Hmm.
some shitty shit about him out there.
Yeah, and that's you can
Yeah,
find it, and it's not even the topic of this podcast.
yeah,
But and I was envious of him, and I have thought like I see him now and again, and he's a nice guy. He hasn't changed. He's a lot richer, but he's a nice guy, and nothing has changed. And and people make it, and people don't make it. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, you don't go idolizing these people. There's corruption in everything. Like the truth is I know I'm talking wrestling on our podcast about paranormal. I just want to put
no,
this out there.
good. I have to plug my shit's going dead. That's funny.
Yeah, so what I was going to say, if the thing is, when people get old and they wrestle, they can only be in their prime for like 5 years, and after that, their body is so fucked
Yeah,
that if they haven't made enough money, they're out. They're poor and don't have anything. There is big successful ones that can save them money and kind of get into the movie industry or whatever the fuck they want to do. But there's some that haven't, and they're old and like their life is just falling apart after that, and their body can't work the way it was. So like shit like that happens,
yeah,
and
just that and
it's like if I was a professional wrestler, I probably would have been retiring now because my body wouldn't have been able to withstand all that shit now. And I like whether I would have been successful or not successful, then it's like you're a certain age, and then like all you have is that as your history is that, and you can't do anything else. You can't walk into another job and stuff. It's just everything your path is laid out the way it's laid
yeah,
out.
mhm.
You
Just like
know.
athletes or people who do boxing, like they get fucked up in the head. Some of them aren't.
Mhm.
like
Oh
watch
yeah, yeah, it
really
is.
that sad football too.
Hmm.
They get those people hooked on fucking pain pills.
Oh
If
fuck yeah.
doesn't know, like they feed those people a lot of pain pills. If you get a, so they don't.
It was the same in wrestling, the pain pills, and then some of them
Yeah,
are addicted to pain pills, and steroids and stuff. Obviously now they've kind of restricted that shit, but back in the 90s, like funny enough, in the 90s and the 2000s, they were all on fucking the steroids and all that sort of thing. And steroids, long-term steroids will fuck with a person's brain.
I don't even know. Like I'm always.
Medical steroids used for a certain time, but constantly on steroids and constantly on steroids will kind of it does eventually fuck the brain up, because it just makes them in their head. It kind of turns something off in their head that they think they can do anything. And so many steroids over years of time kind of can cause them to have like eventually someone can have a heart attack in their 40s because of it. Like it's just crazy shit.
Mhm.
But anyway, I know that went completely off topic. I was just saying our path is laid out the way I think, and Tribe, I think we were meant to kind of come together and do this.
Mhm.
I mean, like it's brilliant. We got a good lot of views and stuff like that, and that's the most appreciative thing is like the views. And I know I say each time, and I throw the videos up on our YouTube channels. I know we don't do them regularly because we just don't do them regularly. We things
We,
didn't
yeah,
happen.
we're not one of those. We're not on here fucking every day. We don't go live. Like we didn't even think it would ever be like
Mhm,
this, really. So yeah, we're just still winging it. So I don't want anybody. I doubt anybody would be upset like if we don't post. But just so you know, we don't post a lot because like we just he has a newborn baby and everything, and we got shit going on, so we just try.
mhm.
And honestly, like especially later with us like uncovering more information. We'll probably do it more often. We just have to get in the
Yeah,
feeling of it, but I'm not making any promises at all.
yeah, exactly.
I'm
And
always happy
what we
with
get, we put a few episodes out, and they're long. I always say they're
I'm
going to be shorter
out.
than it.
So
Hmm?
I'm sorry if I look tired this whole time. Like my eyes are so low. Like I probably didn't make much like facial expressions like I usually do, but I smoked some good bud, guys. I look asleep, and I got
That's
glasses on, so when I close my eyes, you can hardly see them because they're kind of low.
yeah, it's like, but it would be, we like that people are watching it. It would be so fucking cool if you guys would subscribe and like and just kind of show some sort of it, because that helps. The reason I'm saying that is I don't want you to fucking pay. We're not looking for money. We don't want money. We're not here. Pay, subscribe. YouTube is fucking free to subscribe to. It's not Twitch. It's not fucking
It's just feeding
TikTok.
out
It's
like
not OnlyFans.
yeah.
It's fucking YouTube, and subscribe doesn't cost you a fucking thing. I know I'm saying fucking a lot because just
It's,
subscribe. We need to get the algorithm out there. The algorithm goes out there, more people see us, get to see this horrible face and this beautiful face. So I mean, this is what it's about.
yeah, it's easy.
Sharing information.
Liking is free. It's so simple. That's how I feel. And if people don't want to like, that's fine too. But like I feel like
Yeah,
choose
I know a lot of people watch. The last time I checked, 500 and something people watched, and that's brilliant.
that's
I
crazy.
totally appreciate that, and that's
It's
that's that's
not
amazing.
we should have some more likes. That's the thing, is yeah, liking is free. Hit that shit. I don't care where it is.
It's
Thank
somewhere on the screen somewhere, but it's more so we want to get our podcast out there. We want more people to get the
yeah,
information.
we
We
can
want to
be
get you guys on the same frequency as us.
yeah, we don't give a fuck about no money. And even
Yeah.
if it no YouTube is not gonna pay us because of what we talk about.
No, they're not. Like,
Oh
if anything, they'd shut us down. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know.
If anything, they'd shut us down. But
Mhm.
like, we're not getting paid by anyone. This isn't for money. This is a labor of love. I'm doing this because I
We do
like to do this. Hmm?
our Spotify too. We like that's what we had before our YouTube.
Yeah, we still have Spotify. We still have Tengu Tribe on Spotify, and that's still going. That we do
Oh
Tengu Tribe when
yeah.
I don't want to be on camera or I'm too. But this mask, actually, this mask, I'm not going to show you guys my face, but this mask is actually very hot.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad for him. He doesn't have fans. Yeah, we should get furry masks.
But I mean, I, it's just to get this information out there is the most important thing to get other people on the same frequency of us as us.
Yeah.
And I have a page and Trio has a page. My page is Tengu Beats, and anyone that's on my page will see I constantly change the pictures and change shit. So that's just me being, I don't know, ADHD or something like that. I don't fucking know because I keep
It's
changing.
him.
Hmm?
Plus, he has some characters he's working on, and they like to post too. So,
Yeah, so it constantly changes. So I've changed it again. So it will keep changing, but I'm still Tengu and Tengu
yeah, but
Beats.
also the Instagram. I feel like you should, even if it's stuff with your characters, you should start posting on there too. Anybody
Hmm.
can find us too. Third Eye Tribe or Tengu Tribe, because that's how you Tengu and Tribe, and
Hmm.
yeah, and then and all of a lot of your things are linked whenever you click on.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. And
Um, like I don't know how you do the description at the bottom, but put your I don't know if you update them to this one, but like with your music videos and stuff,
mhm.
like just put in there, with your Aiko music videos and stuff.
Oh
People
yeah.
music, they can check that out too.
Oh yeah, that's still a thing. I haven't done much music on that lately, but I mean it's still a thing I did. And is there like I've said loads. Is there anything you want to talk about, Try, before we finish up here, or is there anything or
No, I really liked this episode. I was chilling and I know I don't see fucking enthusiasm. I'm fried, but I was really excited that you liked that because like he said, he is the fucking skeptical one. So sometimes even if we talk about the same subject and other things, he's like, So it was really nice for him to be looking at those pictures and getting excited and really believing in it because it makes me feel better at the same time because I know that these things exist, but having somebody else like that was also on a similar path as you that has other knowledge on the paranormal side like can tell me too like hey yeah I think this is something whether it's living or it's a craft.
yeah, and that's fun. I will. I think further episodes I'll do more about. I want to do a bit more detail on them and the races because
It,
there's so many alien races. Like before we go, I like there's so many fucking cool. Like there's a cat race. What are they called? I think they're so cool. They're cats.
Lyran.
Oh, they like Elder Scrolls.
Like the
The
Khajiit.
Khajiits. I'm like when I was looking at it, that's fucking cool. I was like, they're
Yeah,
fucking cool looking.
very similar to like if you would think of even Lord of the Rings
Hmm.
diverse. You got the elves, you got your fucking orcs,
Yeah.
the very diverse. They were fighting in wars all scrambled together. That's how like the races were. Just like you would think of black person, white person, or
Hmm.
European, whatever. Like that's how I think like some places are, and how ours could be in the future too. Like once we advance to a certain level and we have
The technology. Yeah.
they start showing themselves too. We just need that. We need that to break that ice and get everyone up to a certain vibration so
Mm.
that we can all accept this. Because, like you said, not only is not the government not going to tell us, but they literally can't tell us. Because I know they signed a deal with Eisenhower, and we've talked
Oh
about.
yeah, we've talked about this before. It's out there. There's an agreement they made with. I
Mhm.
believe it's the Grey race, or it's something to do with the Greys, the tall Greys. I think it's the. I'm not 100% sure. It was it them the deal was made with.
I'm not
I
sure
can't remember. There was a particular rate, or I don't know, but I read some of it, and the agreement was that they weren't allowed to
ever.
discuss, and that
I don't think
the
they knew what
beings.
they were doing at the time. They were just like, "Oh, we'll get some technology." We just like never. Yeah, that means you never can disclose. That means anything they do, they can never just say this is this. They have to tell you a different way, and that's why they send out people to do misinformation or disinformation campaign,
Yeah,
and that's why you get a lot of truth and some lies. But
it's a
everything,
mix of truth and lies. Yeah.
but a lot of things is based off of truth, and then a lot of lies are mixed. So like when you hear about UFO shit, even paranormal type things, whatever you want to call it,
Hmm.
believe it now more than ever. Believe it now because
It's there's got this is the big time in life. Like
yeah, the shit.
stuff is happening. There's gonna be more images. There's gonna be real fucking images. You will actually say that it's there. The Tic Tacs are an old video, 2017. That was the most released one of that craft, and like you say, it's probably owned by the military anyway. But it's a
Yeah.
craft that's not ours. It was, and that like that's the first one, and there is others that the one that you said like a spinning top.
Yeah.
So I
I was
mean,
them like because there has been instances where they would test their own people by
mhm.
in a craft like that was higher up than them, so the people wouldn't know what's going on. So it'd be like a real time test, but the people like lower in rank don't know. So that's kind of fucked up because they have done shit to their own people like that, like the same branch, or it could be one branch, just like with the manta ray.
Because
It could be two set, like China
yeah,
looking at Russia or
or
something,
something like that.
and they just don't. We have advanced reverse engineer tech,
But
so
there's even stuff that like you have your front-facing governments that
mhm,
they know certain information, but there's other corporations, private corporations that have more information than them, and they will not give them the information. They'll give them some of the information. And
compartmentalize
this
so much.
brings us to the fucking major fucking elephant in the room. The big elites that control the lot is private corporation companies. We know this, it's there.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, and it's got the government may know some things, the private companies know more, and then there's fucking companies within fucking companies. We're gonna finish soon, very soon. But I want to say one thing, right? My great grandfather was a Templar. Was a not that. Sorry, it was what the fucking called the fucking
degree Mason.
a Mason, fucking Templars. Anyway, he was a Templar or a Mason, right? I
Yeah.
can't be a Mason. That's because of something personal. I don't want to be a Mason anyway. But one little thing with the Masons, and I don't know a lot about Masons. I know there's one thing. There's the Masons, the front-facing Masons that we all aware of. But there's
Mhm.
also side door Masons, and they're the ones we don't know about.
Yeah.
And the reason I mention that is because you've got your front-facing government, and then you've got your little side governments, your black ops, and the fucking government, the other ones that are controlled that are not sharing the information with these guys. So
I think
your
I'm a
Donald Trumps, your Joe Bidens, your Obamas, your fucking whoever else is the information. They're not going to release the information. We said this anyway,
yeah.
because there's something in the back holding it that he doesn't even know or she doesn't know what the fuck like. So that was just a little kind of example. So there's within. There's things within. It's like a Russian doll.
Mhm.
You open the doll, there's another doll, another doll, another doll, another doll. It's kind of the same kind of thing in these kind of this corporation, oh, it's this corporation, and you could be fucking looking at it for ages. It would just make your brain blow up.
Yeah. And on top of that, like they've sent people out there. Richard Dodge is one of them.
Hmm.
Who disinformation campaigns and quite literally would confuse the public. Same way people out there, if you ask them, "Do we get to the moon?" Half people would say that we didn't. Half would say that we did.
Mm.
And that's crazy. Some people say the world's flat. Some would that it
Yeah,
it's not that anything physical matters, but it's crazy how people are swayed to one side or the other. But at the end of the day, what we should be pressing is the release of technology, and of course, um, the reveal of technology in underground
hmm,
city, anything like that, and capturing and saving any children because
yeah,
we talked about that before. Those are of utmost priorities, and of course, we know like what's up there, almost to surpass the industries: organ trade, drug trade, and trafficking. That's soon to be the number one industry in the
yeah.
if it like so that would be it's pretty much the number one industry everywhere. If you're gonna say it's in the U.S., it's probably going to
It's
be everywhere.
everywhere. It's
One
everywhere. It's
thing
all.
will leap like I do want to say because I don't talk about that a lot, but save the children hashtag save the children. Roses for Montauk, yeah, yeah, that one too.
That's all good. And I think this is a good way to. Oh my God, my nose is so itchy. Um.
I know this has been like fucking itching my eye.
Oh my God. But anyway, guys, as we said, thanks for tuning in, listening, like, subscribe, please. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your granddad, tell your dog, tell your cat, tell your bird, tell your
Yeah,
pet alien, I don't know. But get the information out there. And on that note, I am going to say goodbye from me.
goodbye, peace out,
Peace out.
love, darkness.